Well, folks, we've got a PCM with nothing plugged into it and a heck of a lot of wires everywhere. Oh boy, this should get interesting. Okay, well, we're starting out with this new code reader I got. This thing was about 30 bucks, so price is right. We have got 5 trouble codes on this truck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna go do a little Googling and figure out what those are. So based on some light Googling, the first one is torque converter clutch solenoid circuit. The next one is transmission fluid temperature sensor circuit high input. Next one is ambient battery temp sensor too high. That's one that's kind of weird. I'm not sure what's going on there. Next up is output speed sensor circuit malfunction. I actually replaced the wires going to the output speed sensor a while ago. It's possible this is an old code, or maybe there's a continued issue with that, but that's interesting. Next up is governor pressure sensor voltage too high. All right, well, that is all very interesting news. I really should have checked that sooner. With these 12 valves, they just have such a reputation as not being that electrical. And I have had a code reader on this thing before, but it's been a while. So before I get into anything, I'm going to try and delete them all, take the truck for a drive, and just see if any of them come back. I would imagine they probably will, but at least it's the first step that we can have a look at. And then we'll just start going through it one by one. I think there's probably at least a couple in there that would benefit from having a new pigtail wired in, and I do have one of those, so that's probably something that's going to be happening right away. Yeah, so essentially from this new pigtail here, on this end, they've got the proper color of wires, and on this end, these are the proper color of wires. So at least for diagnosing purposes, it's better than nothing. And then I'll try and color match as good as I can. You know, I've got several colors: white, black, blue, red, stuff like that. And I'm gonna go to the parts store and grab some shrink tubing, and I'll try and do a fairly reasonable job of it, and hopefully this helps some of my problems. All right, well, let me delete all but one, the 1492, which is the battery temp sensor voltage too high. That one stuck on there. Let's have a look here. So we've got 3 now after a very short drive. 700713. 1492 was the one that wouldn't delete. 1763. Okay. Okay, well, I'm just under the truck right now. This is an unrelated issue, but you can see oil all over the pitman arm and stuff. It's dripping here under the track bar. I'm pretty sure the giant oil leak that I had when it was on the dyno and when it's at high boost is coming out of this vacuum pump seal. I had a lot of problems getting this thing to seal up originally. I rebuilt it. The kit was shockingly expensive. It was almost $100 for just a couple seals and a metal gasket. I followed the instructions on a great video from Thoroughbred Diesel, but this thing has leaked on me a few times. I've had to pull it apart and stuff, and I would suspect that is where my high boost oil leak is coming from. You can see some stuff dripping off that line. Those lines are brand new though, so I doubt that it's from that, but it's possible. Anyways, I don't think that it's coming from the tappet cover, which is great news. Okay, well, right now I'm trying to figure out a bit of a game plan moving forward. When I pulled the truck apart, I said that I was going to redo all the wiring, and I'm trying to figure out what the best way to go about doing that is. Ideally, it would be nice to get all new connections and the proper color code of wiring, you know, the yellow one with the red stripe, etc., etc. And I'm still trying to figure out the best plan of attack with that. As for right now, I mean, a lot of this wiring is pretty crusty. You know, it's been chafing and rubbing in these split looms for decades now. I actually had to replace this stuff once. These are the blue and green wires, go back to the output speed sensor, and I've just put a voltmeter, I think it's called to check for continuity or whatever, where you put a pin on one side and a pin on the other and just make sure electricity is getting through. There does not appear to be an open circuit between those two. Obviously there was an open circuit, that was why I had to replace this, but I'm still getting an output speed sensor code. So anyways, right now I'm just trying to decide what to do. If you watched that last video, these are out of a junkyard, the gray and white connectors. I've gone through, pulled it all apart. These are the correct color codes coming off of there, and the plan is to try and decide on a wire by wire basis, do I follow this all the way back and just try and connect it as close to whatever it goes to as possible. You know, at some point it would be nice to completely have it a new wire from PCM to wherever it's going, but there's a lot of specialty stuff. I don't really know the best source for that kind of thing, and I think at the moment I'm going to try and keep it simple. I basically have two goals here. If I can try and get some of my electrical problems cleaned up, that'd be great, and also if I can familiarize myself with this system, because this is going to be a big project to jump into. So I think for right now I'm just going to try and keep it simple. I'm going to try and kind of graft these new PCM ends with the pigtails in, and any wires that look a little suspect, I'll just run a new wire, and you know, we'll just kind of go through it on a wire by wire basis. So this will be pretty time consuming, I'm sure, but it's a beautiful day, and what the heck, let's try and make this a good truck. Okay, well, we've got some very interesting updates. This collection of wires right here is what goes to the white connector. So now I'm trying to assess how damaged these are. A lot of these go to this, I believe it's the 8-pin connector that connects to the valve body on the transmission. I have found some pretty significant damage here. Look at that. That one's buggered right up. This brown one as well. Hopefully you can see that. And I mean, who knows what else is going on up the line. So I'm gonna start with this. I have a new connector and pigtail that I got with my power-driven diesel tranny rebuild kit. So first things first, I'm going to reestablish a new connection from my new 8-pin connector up to the white PCM connector here, and then we'll go from there. Okay, well, it probably looks pretty disheveled and crazy, but every single wire has been, the middle parts of them have been replaced. As you can see, all these red things are shrink tubing. I've got to go over and shrink tube all of it. But that whole new end is on, as well as this one, and most importantly, that 8-pin connector has been redone. There were actually a couple of colors that didn't quite match in here. That middle one that you can see is kind of like a black or a dark gray. That was, can't remember, I think it might have been purple on the other one, but either way I matched them up to their location on there, so fingers crossed, it should work. I kind of want to just plug it in and take it for a drive, but I think that would be ridiculous. After all this work, if I melted a wire or something like that, I would be pretty upset. So I'm going to start going through the painstaking process of all this shrink tubing, which will take a while considering it's kind of windy, but anyways, let's get at her. Okay, well, it's the next day. I got all the shrink tubing done last night. Unfortunately, it might have been a little bit too big for these wires. It was kind of frustrating, but anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and tape this up really good. They actually didn't have black split loom. They didn't even have the big size. So I am gonna go ahead and just tape the whole wire harness up. They didn't even have black tape, pretty hilarious, but I'm going to go ahead and tape all this up real good, and this is a kind of a temporary solution, but I'm still going to try and seal it up and protect it as good as I can. All right, well, a couple days of screwing around and absolutely zero difference. Still driving
the same as it possibly, same as it did before. I have to be honest with you, when I first pulled that 32 pin connector apart, I just had this horrible feeling like the truck was never going to run again. So I am happy to even just have it back as is. I've had a lot of really helpful comments from people trying to get me through this transmission situation. I really appreciate it. One fella by the name of Martin from Southern California has really stepped up and is really trying to help me get through this, and he's given me a list of things to check. So I just want to say to Martin, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And next up, I'm going to go ahead and check the TV cable and see just how out of adjustment it is. Okay, so one interesting little side note, when we were doing the dyno test in the last video, or a couple videos ago, I didn't show you guys the graph. They actually just gave me a printed off piece of paper, and I'm going to talk to them and see if we can do some sort of live screen capture or something just to make it a little bit more visual on screen. But I was having a look at it, and this thing was making 1,000 foot-pounds of torque at 1,800 RPM. Isn't that just wild? I mean, granted, that's, you know, third gear locked in a high boost situation, but still, I just can't believe that much power, that low of RPM. It's pretty nuts. So anyways, we're going to jump into doing the TV cable next. I put a new one in pretty recently, and I've never adjusted it. It's kind of a weird, convoluted process, but we're going to just jump in, and I'm sure we'll get through it. So let's go. Okay, so this is the graph they gave me. As you can see, 542 horsepower at 2350 RPM, and at 2350 we were at 1210 torque. But up here you can see this line is 1200, that's 1400, so it was 1310 or 1320, something like that was peak torque. But like I said, you know, 1800 RPM, it's already making 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. That was just wild. I didn't really know what to expect. I haven't really been around a lot of diesel, a lot of dyno stuff in general, let alone diesel dyno stuff, but that seems pretty good. Once I get this thing all sorted out, it should launch pretty nice, because I think my stall and my torque converter is around 1700, so that should be some pretty big power right there. All right, well, I have tried to just test it in the driveway here after adjusting the TV cable, and definitely no change. So we're getting down to possibly I need to check line pressure, or not possibly, but the next thing I need to check is line pressure, and after that it is going to be possibly a problem with the ECM or the PCM. So you know, it's a very real chance that the truck is going to stay like this for the foreseeable future. Aside from a few shifting quirks, it is actually running really well. So anyways, we are actually at our 2-year anniversary for this channel right now, which is a big milestone. And I need to start jumping over to the Dakota, because I'm going to be racing that in some autocross stuff in just a few days, and I got to put some new brake lines on it. So anyways, the 12 valve stuff is going to take a little bit of a break, but just want to say thank you so much for coming along. Please give me a thumbs up, ring the bell, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.